Anthem is out on PC, PS4 and Xbox One on February the 22nd. It's a AAA game, so there are about 17 different versions of the game to buy. It's published by EA, so it costs about 60 bastard pounds, of course.
Yeah.
Here to talk about it today with me, Mike Williams, is Liam McKelvey and Jake Lukowski.
Hello.
Hello.
That's a lot of money, that, and it's 60 bastard pounds for...
Is that like just the entry price as well?
It is for an
Yeah.
EA game now,
It's
yeah.
the new norm.
It is. EA possibly the least popular publisher there is at the moment.
At the moment?
Yeah.
Past 5 years?
There's
like,
a lot of... Yeah.
Close tie with Activision, I'd say,
Do
probably.
you think that...
Yeah, Activision, they've they're not as bad as they used to be, but they're still up there with the whole Blizzard thing going on at the minute.
I just feel for some reason like EA just makes a lot of people on YouTube unhappy. I don't know if it's the viewers or just the people making videos, but there's a lot of angry EA thumbnails in the world at the moment.
Yeah. It's the easiest click in the world, isn't it? EA are bad.
Yeah.
So
EA did bad.
But I mean, this time they've not even done bad. They've done very confusing. Remember, have you seen that chart? Like their release chart. It's like so £60 bastard pounds is your cheap tickets.
Yeah.
But you've got like the £70 edition, the £80 edition. I think there's a £120 edition.
Yeah, it's quite dizzying, really. So Anthem is, of course, a shared world shooter developed by BioWare. So BioWare, of course, those guys with a long tradition of never having made a shared world shooter before. They of course make single player games traditionally. We know them
RPGs.
for RPGs. A couple of my favorite games ever made, the Knights of the Old Republic, and Mass Effect games, and even
Jade
like Jade
Empire.
Empire and stuff,
Yeah,
and then
that's
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, that little thing called Baldur's Gate 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are well known for crafting a great story out. So that's when it's one player, but I guess they're just taking a new foray into the not only just multiplayer but shared world. So it's still got these story moments, but you can experience a story moment with your mate jetpacking around your head.
This is the 2019 equivalent to 2008's Let's Put a Team Deathmatch mode in there. That came with like Dead Space and BioShock and all them sort of games that just had tacked on multiplayer. They're just the flavour of the month in AAA at the moment is shared world stuff.
Can we call this trend everything's better with 3 strangers?
Everything's better with 3 strangers or 2 strangers. It's up to you.
Depends on the size of the fire team. Yeah.
So it's a game about shooting stuff, but it's also a game about sort of exploration, leveling up, RPG mechanics, social mechanics. There's sort of a social space in there. You can see other players when you're out roaming the world, taking out bad guys. Anthem is a game that I reckon people have seen quite a bit of now because there's been a lot of exposure. There's been a lot of gameplay trailers. It's been at a few shows, E3 and stuff like that, where we've seen the game in action and shit.
Yeah.
And now there's been 2 demos. One was the VIP demo for those that pre-ordered it, and then there was the open demo that's just happened. And that's also an alpha.
I was gonna say, like, me and Leon played the alpha, but to be honest, I don't know if the NDA is lifted, so I don't know how much I can talk about it. Because it's quite different. Like with the alpha, there was a big story beat in there.
Yeah.
And from this demo that I played,
it's very different.
Yeah, exactly. And from this demo, you don't see any of the story really, which again, for a BioWare title, is a bit weird. But I don't know how much I can say, but I'll say this: from what I did play in the alpha and that story beat. Gosh, I wonder if there's a reason they've left it out.
Okay.
I can't say any more, can I? So I'm not going to.
I think it might purely be they just don't want to spoil stuff.
Maybe. Separately to all that then as well, the press have had access to sort of late game content behind closed doors as well. So it seems like everyone got, I think it was at like EA Redwood or something like that. They got invited to the studio and they played it for like 7 hours all day, and they got to see late game content, and there's been impressions coming out of that. So the ultimate question that we're going to discuss right here right now is Anthem. Any good? Worth it?
Oh, okay.
Worth a shot? I don't know, because I'm very confused about this one because I was really looking forward to it. Ticks a lot of boxes for me. I do love a shared world shooter. I'm a big fan of both Destiny and The Division. Probably the most, basically they are the shared world shooters as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, hang on a minute.
You got a bit of Warframe.
I was going to say, listen, we were asking for Warframe comments now. Warframe as well, but
it's now a shared world shooter, but
very
because
true.
There's an open it's evolved that.
Yeah, it's showing that everything's better with 3 strangers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but to my mind, in console AAA terms, I know Warframe is an excellent,
absolutely full price AAA. That's it. Good.
And I would hate to upset anyone who's willing to write a YouTube comment about that.
That's a hell of a save, that man.
Destiny and The Division, they are the games, as far as I'm concerned, that especially Destiny, that companies are trying to imitate, right? And that's what the Division was. The Division was Ubisoft going, let's do a bit of that. And they were pretty successful, but it took a lot of work. It wasn't hugely popular when it came out.
Yeah, and do you guys think that might be another reason EA is stepping into it? Because both Destiny and the Division aren't like flawless examples of it. They all have quite rocky relationships with the players, and there's always things that people moan about. So do you think that that's like kind of encouraging like a big company like BioWare and EA to like be like, hang on a minute, there's a gap in the market here, because look, Destiny, I mean, until Forsaken, Destiny 2 were having a real tough time with their player base.
Yeah.
You know, everything they were saying seemed to be angering people. Yeah. So, you know, it's like like Fortnite, good luck making another Battle Royale game now that Fortnite's kicking off, because you're up against the best, right? I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But this, EA has potential to be the best one, is what I'm saying.
It's almost the corporate level sort of, well, Activision's got one, Ubisoft has got one, where's ours?
Yeah.
We're
EA.
So we need one. There's a slight whiff of that about it. But Liam, you're of the three of us. I don't want no spoilers, but you're probably the warmest on it.
The most positive
the
on
three
it.
Of us.
Yeah, probably.
What do you think of it so far? How are you feeling about it?
So I had a good time with it. To be fair, I played a bit on the PS4 with you guys, and then I played the majority of it on PC because I just wanted to compare the two, really see like how different they looked, which played better and all that. So I spent most of my time on the PC version, and yeah, I was quite warm on it. I really liked the shooting for one, which I thought had nice feedback to it. The sound design was good, and there was the variety to the guns I thought was good enough. You could get shotguns, sniper rifles, assault rifles, heavy machine guns, all that. And I think most commonly I used the assault rifle and like a machine pistol thing.
Yeah.
And they were different. They felt different enough. It gave me the impression that there was good variety to the gunplay. And then I liked the special abilities as well, like the little missile launcher and grenade you had on the cooldown. And then I eventually unlocked this like proper Iron Man laser beam type thing that was quite cool. Then you got the proper like missile barrage, which was quite fun to use.
That was like your limit break kind of.
Yeah, that was like your ultimate ability.
That's the money shot. I mean, it is exactly. It's exactly like the movie flipping representation of Iron Man.
Yeah,
flying through the sky, you fly like your mates are shooting out, and then you just kind of swoop in there.
Yeah.
You kind of open up, you press up on the D-pad, and you kind of lock on to like about 8 things at once.
And you say, "Don't worry, boys, I've got this."
Let go. All these rockets are going everywhere. Very satisfying. Very nicely animated and stuff. Good, meaty sort of thing. Overall, you kind of a thumbs up.
Well, for the moment-to-moment gameplay, I quite enjoyed it. The flying, I thought was good. Not on PC though. On console, the flying was fine, but on PC, the controls for flying were pretty terrible.
Now, I've heard so many people say exactly that the mouse sort of response just isn't.
Yeah, there's some really difficult. There's some really horrible like acceleration going on. Yeah. It's like you'll move it to the right, you won't make any movement.
Yeah.
You move it a bit more to the right, you're doing like a complete 360 turn.
And there are moments in the game where you need to do some tight sort of maneuvers, underground
for like
and
caverns
stuff. And like underwater, I think it sort of look in places it seems. So when you're playing with mouse and keyboard when you're flying, it's quite difficult.
But apparently they've fixed that, is what they've said on Twitter.
Yeah. Okay, so we played a little bit together. I've played a little bit on my own, and this is based on demo. We were not invited to EA Redwood to play the end game stuff, so we didn't get. So we don't know what it looks like. So it's we can't really make any judgment apart from what we've seen on the demo. And all I can say is that the demo has not done its job of making me want to play the game, because they call this a demo and not a beta. This is the demo for the game, and it was like limited time, so you had 3 days or whatever.
I think it would have been better to call it a beta, because for a demo it was pretty rough in some parts.
I admire not misusing the word beta like everyone does, but it's kind of it's got I've come away from this demo pretty disappointed. I don't want to be doing this sort of telling everyone it's not worth buying and all that sort of thing, because as I very wisely read on a rock paper shotgun video in the comments, the game the game ain't even drop yet, bro, which is a good point. Someone wrote that in response to the rock paper shotgun video, and that's exactly the point. The game isn't out yet, so you can't but based on the demo, there's a lot for me. There's a lot of work to be done on a few things. I think it does some basic stuff that Destiny didn't do when it first launched, like completely. Like the characters are a bit more, well, they're literally in your face and stuff. So the social, well, it's not even social. Like the single player area is first person.
The hub, yeah.
The hub. That's where like a lot of the, what's it called? The name of the city or whatever. There's a T in there.
Is it Fort Taurus?
Tartus,
something like that.
But that's heavier, and that's more like, it's more apparent that if you want to follow the story, it's clearer, it's there for you. That's what BioWare do, so that should be there for you. In Destiny 1, like originally, it was just nothing. And Destiny 2 was a bit better, but even then, it just felt a little bit like disconnected in some ways and stuff. But this looks like they're making a concerted effort. Having said that, I felt absolutely no affinity to the characters whatsoever. I didn't think the writing was particularly good, and I didn't like the decision. You can make decisions like very inconsequential, sort of, yes, that sounds great, or yeah, fine.
Yeah,
it's like that kind of.
It was either sarcastic or optimistically agreeing.
Yeah. So
that's the worst example I've seen of a dialogue tree in ages.
Yeah, it's not a tree, is it? It's just left and right. It's like, do you want...
Yeah, it was more, you get two decisions for dialogue choice.
Yeah, what was that? I don't know. For me, like, getting a premise that you can get hooked on is half of the battle.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for me, I'm not huge into sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
And like mechs and all that. And seeing what the story was about. What is the Anthem? What is Anthem? Like, as in the concept, not the title of the game. Like, do you know what I mean? Why is it called that? You understand that when you play the Alpha. So I've seen a bit of the main story and seen what it brings. And then this, I thought maybe I'd get a little bit more of an understanding. But no, I found that like the quests in it were actually pretty sort of go here, stand in a circle and shoot people, then collect 3 things and da-da-da. And I remember we were doing a puzzle at the end of one of these quests with a random guy, and we were messaging each other on WhatsApp like, are we finally done the... Oh, right, the mission's over then. I found that it
ended on a puzzle.
Yeah,
and it wasn't
like a puzzle.
It was quite anticlimactic.
Yeah,
that was it. It was a puzzle to unlock a big door.
Yeah.
So you open the big door and you think, okay, what's going to be through this door? Boss room, or and then it's just a
nothing.
loading screen.
Yeah,
surprise.
There's two so I don't want to just pile on this thing, but the more I say that, the more it sounds like we are, I suppose. But all right, loading screens are a big problem in it for me. Like going from one area to the other, if you're in a squad or a party, or whatever, it just suddenly cuts to a loading screen.
It does seem
very jarring. You kind of forget how nice it is to not having loading screens everywhere these days. So when it happens in a game that like this, you're like, Jesus Christ, this is not good. It just kind of yanks you out of it.
Yeah. You've got this fluid gameplay, like there's verticality that can happen at a moment's notice because you can just jetpack up places, sweep through waterfalls, you're shooting, you're dodging, flying, and you can get some quite agile exoskeleton suits, I think they're javelins, right?
Yeah.
But then, you're just hit with this literal brick wall and it stops the momentum and you've literally got like 25 seconds of just downtime, and it's just, sometimes you'll load back up and you'll be mid-air and like, oh, okay, so here I am again.
I think the problem with that is they don't indicate where it's going to load either.
That's another issue, yeah.
Like, we were just heading towards a cave and it went into a loading screen.
Yeah.
Like, no indication.
No. Yeah. It doesn't, there's no cooldown, there
was no, like, you're about to leave sort of warning.
Yeah, just bang, loading screen like that when you're mid in this supposedly sort of open environment that you're exploring and that. Shooting-wise, this is a game about shooting, and Liam enjoys it.
I liked the shooting, yeah. It reminded me of Lost Planet, oddly enough, if you
I
remember.
know what you mean.
Same with the movement, like, because there's a big focus on movement in Anthem, where there's a lot of dodging, a lot of, like, hovering in midair with your jetpack and dodging around and stuff like that, which I liked, because I think I just prefer third-person games in general, and I like it when you combine fast movement with this, like, fast shooting.
Yeah.
That's just, like, my personal preference, though.
Yeah, so rather than me just go, the shooting isn't good, I'll try and be more specific about what I mean. I think the reticule is too big, and I don't feel like I'm connecting properly with what I'm shooting at. I don't know what I'm shooting a lot of the time. I'm just shooting at a health bar, so I don't even know what type of enemy it is a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like the shooting and the jumping and the movement and stuff are good, but it is exactly what was in Mass Effect Andromeda. So if you've played Mass Effect Andromeda and you kind of weren't too hot on the combat, although that's probably the best part of Mass Effect Andromeda, this is what this is, except you can fly. You can like rocket through the air like Iron Man, which you couldn't do in Andromeda. But you could jump and you could sort of hover and you could have that fluid sort of movement and stuff. Which I don't blame them for basing a game on it, because they built it for Andromeda and it was good.
It's on the same engine as well.
Yeah, and so they were like, well, we can't, Andromeda was sort of commercial critical, a bit of a flop, like, so why, it would be foolish to chuck this part of it away. So I can see where they've come from, but it just doesn't quite connect for me. I think the shooting in Destiny is so satisfying for me. This just doesn't. It just doesn't have the same sort of wall up, and it doesn't have the same really heavy, satisfying feedback that you get in Destiny. It feels more like The Division.
With jetpacks.
But with jetpacks.
Which is, for me, like, far and wide the best part of the game. Like,
the jetpacks.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Such a cool thing. Like, you're fighting a boss, and they're quite bullet spunchy. And you can literally just jump up, take your javelin up, and sit on top of a cliff away from enemies. And
they added that in as well. They were saying that they were working on the game, and then they sort of realised that flying is really fun, and they were like, well, we've got to make this a part of the game. What a great decision that was, because without that there's really not much here, I don't think. So the flying really does, you're right, it totally adds something.
I mean, the game is so big that it's got potential, just by the nature of it. For me, the premise doesn't grab me, and that means it could be the best type of game it can be, but the story doesn't grab me, the setting doesn't grab me, and the idea of the javelins don't grab me. So it could never convert me, really. But I think
it's an uphill struggle.
Yeah, I think this is the game, though, that if you are on the fence about it, I don't know if you've said this already, Liam, but you certainly said it to me a couple of days ago. In a couple of months, it can definitely tighten up. This is a game that can, like Destiny, change its core so easily with patches, and I think eventually it will find the right balance. There's so many people that have got in touch with us that are so excited about the prospect of it.
Yeah. I was as well. I really was. And it's just been,
thing.
I don't want to say that I'm, but it's sort of tempered a little bit having actually played the demo.
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be lots of people that are totally in agreement with that, and also there's people that are probably like, what you want about? I played it, and it's amazing. But, if you've still got hope for it, and you aren't that impressed by what you've seen, I think it will change. EA are tuning stuff up like that a lot. Battlefield 5 released in a very unusual way, but they have been making a lot of changes.
It almost, it's interesting that you mentioned Battlefield 5, because I really would have liked to see what DICE could have done with this kind of... it feels like more of their... If there was a fusion of DICE and BioWare doing this,
like BioWare a super team,
or even Respawn or something, just someone who's really good at making
BioWare,
shooting.
Respawn, and DICE on the same mega development team. I mean, see what happens.
Super group.
That I would be very interested in. I haven't heard anyone come out of it going, "This is a belter. This corrects loads of everything that Destiny did wrong, and it does. It's like the Division, but with jetpacks, and it's really good, much better than Division." I'm not hearing that kind of thing, that positivity about it, even from the most positive critics who've come out of that, behind closed doors demo that they've had.
Yeah.
They're all kind of like, it's good. It does, it's this, there's that, this, I'll check it out. And there's all those kind of noises. Yeah. And not anyone going, this is a bottler.
Yeah. He's arrived. He has come back. Do you know what I mean? It's not like that.
Bob Dylan.
The second coming. Well, of any icon. Just can insert.
Well, that's what they were saying, isn't it? Bob Dylan of video games. The Anthem is the Bob Dylan.
Oh, God, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh man!
I guess it is in the sense that it's a formerly great studio that isn't that. Okay. I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, that's kind of what we think of Anthem. Maybe a week or 2, 3 weeks maybe before it comes out, depending on when this video goes out. So this is before, like the commenter on the Rock Paper Shotgun video said, the game ain't even drop yet, bro. So remember that ethos. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
Just a last thing as well. I think BioWare said on Twitter that this demo was based off quite an old build of the game.
Well, they would
is
say
what they said.
Yeah. Having played the demo, it's gone from I'm absolutely getting this 100% when it comes out to it depends on how much we're going to cover it on the channel. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of it's much less urgent for me, and I do like a shared world shooter, but that's maybe the problem. I'm still playing and enjoying Destiny, and that is fulfilling what I want, and I can't see or understand the reason in this that's going to pull me away from Destiny and play this instead, because I've only got so much time, so I can't be doing both.
I think it'll come down to, especially with the Division out literally the month after it, it'll come
very
down
crowded.
It'll come down to you pick what your preference is. So some people say I prefer realistic military type stuff, they'll go the Division. Some people say I prefer first person shooter, so they'll go Destiny, and you'll get some people who say I prefer the more RPG driven one, and they'll go for Anthem.
I think Jake's right with the premise as well, because the premise of this is I love a bit of sci-fi. I love a good mech, but this is like I don't know. I think maybe it's to do with the score and the art direction and stuff of Destiny, because it's definitely not the fucking storytelling. But some of the voice acting is nice from Nathan Fillion and stuff.
Destiny is cohesive. I think it's really cool.
Nice. Yeah, but it's taken a long time to get there. But even Destiny 1, I loved the sense that it was evoking, because it was all clear. Not where Anthem is like.
When I first saw that,
there's a lot of things doing this.
Yeah, exactly. You know? I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was like one city, one last bastion of hope, a giant wall, and guys with jetpacks. I was thinking it was going to be like Attack on Titan vibes, like giant creatures, and you're swinging around them. But no, it's not.
It's got a bit of Horizon Zero Dawn. It's got a bit of Destiny. It's got a bit of all these different pieces coming together.
Yeah.
But who knows? Like, you know, it's not the full game. I just think that if it is going to be a great game, I would be quite surprised if it is at launch. It had a lot of technical problems in the demo. We haven't even really talked about that much. But it's talked about the actual game experience. So yeah, who knows? It's a big game. It's a big release.
It's a lot of potential.
Feelings. It has got potential, but it's definitely one to be sort of weary of, I suppose. Yeah, we'll see how it goes when it comes out on February the 22nd on PC, PS4 and Xbox One. Thanks for watching this special moves video. Subscribe if you're new. We've got a Patreon, check that out. We've got a Discord channel and game nights.
You can tweet us if you want. Tweet us some pictures of your time on Anthem if you really like.
Tweet us some action. Tell us what you think, right? Because this is the other thing. I don't really understand how people feel about this game, and I want to hear someone say, I played the demo and I love it, and I want you to explain to me why, because I'm not saying it's a lost cause. I just want to know what is good.
Help us believe.
Liam's done a good job of delivering his sort of thing.
Yeah,
me and Jake have done a lot.
The gameplay I liked.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.